Welcome back, everybody, to Late Night Snacks. We are here with you guys because This Is Us has returned for the year. Yay!
Wow.
So we got episode 5 of season 5 on Tuesday. So this is a day late, but this is when we will be streaming our This Is Us coverage. We'll be on Wednesday night. It's just easier for us to watch the show and then have time to analyze it, take notes and stuff, and then do it the next day. So we appreciate you guys and your patience waiting with us, but you only have to wait a day, so it's okay. And so we will discuss this episode, which is called A Long Road Home. And like I said, this is season 5, episode 5. And let me just recap real quick where I'm not going to recap the whole thing, but where we stopped at. When we left the season last year, when they stopped for the holiday break, we had Kate getting ready to tell Toby about the abortion. And they were sitting at the dining room table across from each other. And she said, basically said, I have something to tell you. We knew it was going to get heavy. She was going to tell him. Well, that's how this episode starts. They actually, for once, they don't leave you all over the place. They start right where it stopped. So we'll pick up from right there. With that, I am one of your hosts, Irish Melly, along with the beautiful DeWanda and the amazing That Guy.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
So, real quick note from Kaylee before we start. Yeah, with her husband. No, it's not spoilers. But quick note on the beginning.
No, I said we need to tell people.
Kaylee was right from the beginning of the show. That was really the way they opened the show with all 3 of the people leading right into their stories was really unfair to do to the viewers after a 5-week break. Because we literally stopped in the middle of a conversation, let 5 weeks go by, and then picked up
and the current time.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
Yeah, and they should have been back to back.
We'll talk about it, but they didn't even continue some of the plot lines, like the dinner with Randall and Beth and Kevin and Sophie was there, because we still don't have closure on Sophie. Mm-hmm. And that's all they did. We just saw them at dinner, and they left that at that. But we'll get there. So like I said, we opened with Kate and Toby sitting at the dining room table, and she flat out says it. I mean, there's no waiting. There's no hiding. She just says, hey, when I was 18, I had an abortion. I was in an abusive relationship, and I didn't want to be tied to that guy for the rest of my life, and I wasn't ready to be a mother. And she says she doesn't regret her decision.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can tell by Toby's face, he is not done with this situation.
No, I think by the end of the episode, I think by the end of the episode, when she tells him, you helped me because you let me be my own shining knight. You know what I mean? I think at that point, Toby was really okay with it.
So here's where they're going with this. I guarantee it. Write it down right now. Date and time. This is what I say. This is where they're going with this. They're going to kill Kate. They're killing Kate.
You keep saying that.
The reason why I say that is because this storyline. Listen. The reason why I say that is because this storyline was perfect to put a wedge between Toby and Kate. And it could have started that whole storyline about them disagreeing and why they're not together at the end, blah, blah, blah. Instead, it brought them closer together. Everything is more love, more reconciliation with Kate's story, more reconciliation with her weight. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they're setting it up. They're setting it up to be a tragedy. I write it down. I said it right here.
I don't know, but I don't want her to die.
Well, they're not going to do it anytime soon. They're not going to do it anytime soon. No. It might be next season.
I bet you they do it at the end of this season.
All right.
I bet you it's the end of this season.
Like I said, we opened with Kate telling Toby she had the abortion at 18. And then we flash to Kate at 18 going in for the abortion.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. She finds out that she has to wait a 24-hour period. So she's feeling, this is when she starts to question it. And she goes to visit Mark. And
can I say that Mark is a total sleazeball, by the way?
Oh my God, he is. And I feel bad for the actor because he's probably a really sweet guy. But he looks like a sleazeball, doesn't he?
The storyline was really stupid.
You think it was
stupid? The storyline was nothing. It was really stupid. Yes, it was really stupid. It was
I don't agree with that.
The abortion. The abortion.
Hold up.
Yeah. The abortion didn't have anything to do with Kate and Toby's story. All it was to do was to strengthen Kate to move forward.
I think that was
the way they went about it. The way they went about it was
adoption lady.
But she never. but she never talked. Like Toby was right. She never talked about when she was pregnant or trying to get
Yeah.
pregnant and all those
Right.
problems. How emotional she was trying to get
Well,
pregnant. She
she
never
told
talked about
him
it. So
she
they had
thought
an
he was
opportunity to
going
bring it
to
in there.
judge her. He was going to judge her and
But-
not want to be with her because of it.
Yeah, but
She was scared.
that's something that you want to talk about with
She
your
didn't even tell him.
significant other.
No, you're right. You should. But I
Yeah,
mean, I
but
understand why she
but
didn't
She didn't even
too.
tell Mark.
She
We
didn't
went
want to
through all of
lose.
this mess,
She didn't
and
want
she
to
didn't even
lose
tell Mark.
Toby. Something
I
great in
know.
her.
She
But
went
why
through
didn't
all
she
of
tell
it and
Mark?
didn't even tell him. Yeah, she
didn't
got
even tell him.
her sense
why
of
did she have to see
closure.
him?
Yes. She got her sense of closure, but she didn't
I
even
thought-
tell Mark
Again,
that she
I think
I'm
she.
telling you,
I don't
this is
think
a
she needed
distraction
to
to
tell
set
him
it
at that
up.
point. I don't think she needed to tell him
I'm
at that
telling you.
point. I mean, we'll get there, but once we were at the end, I was very proud of Kate in that moment when she stood there and she said,
Oh,
"No,
I love
look
that
at
monologue.
me.
I love that
You
monologue.
look at me."
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
monologue
"Girl,
is
you
great.
go."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not done.
Right.
The whole I am not done.
Chrissy Metz-
You will listen to what I say.
Chrissy Metz's performance there was award winning.
Yeah,
It was
it
a
was
great
phenomenal.
monologue. Absolutely
For
great.
sure.
And that paid off. I just think the storyline, the purpose that storyline served is to set her and Toby up to be closer, and so it really had nothing to do with an abortion. So I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
And but that's where we kind of go to next. Is that
Mhm.
Toby and Kate go to San Diego to go and see Mark because Kate has stayed up all
Where the
night
fuck
tracking
was that
him
in
down.
San Diego? Come on now.
That don't
Yeah, I
matter.
know.
That was not San
What's
Diego.
up with that, right?
But then
That was not San Diego.
like you said, she has that talk with him and she's very firm and she's like, "No, you will listen to me. You put me through this. You did this to me. You took my self-esteem away. You had power over me. You don't have it anymore." I mean, not in those words, but that's basically what she said. But I wrote it down because I loved this. She tells him that she's
The
happy
disease.
and he's broken and a disease. I was like, "Oh, you go, girl.
You
You
can have
tell
your
him."
disease back.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can have your
So you
disease
take
back.
it.
I'll
Yeah.
take it. It's all yours.
Mhm.
But then we kind
That's
of
great. Great writing.
But then we kind of, because we're going back and forth, so I'm just going to kind of go with the storylines so we don't get confused going back and forth.
Yeah.
Then
That's
we have
easy.
Kevin and Madison's
Save
story.
Randall for the end.
Yeah,
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 save
save
Randall.
Randall for the end.
I did. But Kevin and Madison, we see them, and Kevin gets called away for the movie that he's filming because they want to change the location, so he's going to have to leave earlier, be gone longer. I don't know the details. It doesn't matter. The whole point is he's leaving for a while. Madison says it's okay. The babies won't be here yet. We'll be waiting. He's like, okay. But then all of a sudden they have all these issues come up when they're meeting with the nanny about travel and his movie career. And, like Madison said, we're not going to be your roadies, your groupies, your movie groupies. And she's got a point. But she basically
I
told
hate this
Kevin,
relationship.
I don't like it either.
she told Kevin, you take this time and you decide what you want to do. If you want to be in it for this family or if you want that career or that life, you need to decide. And she's not giving him an ultimatum. She's telling him what she told him from the beginning, that she could do it by herself and that he just needs to, decide what he's going to do. And he's the one who told her and insisted on being in her life and these kids' lives.
He's only in this relationship for the babies. That's all the only reason that he's in it.
Well, then
but we do know
towards the
he
end,
changes
we
his
see
life for her.
Kevin's in the car and he calls Randall. And he's needing to talk to his brother, and he apologizes for the fight that they had. But you can tell he's wanting more. He's wanting to talk to his brother, and he's wanting to get some guidance, some advice. And then Randall says, "Listen, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm gonna have to call you back." And he's like, "Yeah." Kevin's like, "Yeah, okay, man, whatever." And you can tell Kevin is second guessing his decision, his choice to be in this family or not with Madison. And you can see it when he's talking to Randall. That's what he wanted to talk to him about. And when he hangs up the phone, you can see it in he's thinking, he's pondering. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where we leave
it's bad.
Kevin and Madison. I mean, their storyline wasn't anything big. They just kind of bickered for a minute and then it was over.
Bickered.
Yeah.
What we do know about Kevin's storyline is that he does change, because in the flash forward, he's a professor. He's no longer an actor. So something causes him to switch professions, whether it be those kids or whether it be Madison or whatever. I I think their relationship is so flawed because it's like they both are in it. I think for
Well, it was
the
I think
heart
it was
of the
like
right
you said, it was
reasons,
pressure.
but the
Like,
wrong intentions.
exactly. They're doing it
It's
for
a
the wrong
really-
reason.
I see it as a relationship of convenience. That's all it is.
Exactly.
I
Or a
see it as a
relationship of
relationship
inconvenience,
as
whichever
Kevin
way you
trying
look
to,
at it.
Yeah.
it's Kevin trying to make amends. It's Kevin's apology for his own
Well, and
life,
we know from
basically.
last season where we knew Kevin was his big thing was like, by the time I'm 40, I want to have a family. I want to have a wife and a kid. You know what I mean? And he was almost 40, so he's trying to hurry up and figure this all out. And then here's Madison. Hey, guess what? I'm pregnant with twins. So,
I'd
but
say
now he doesn't know if he wants to be in
pretty
that position.
exhausting.
He still
It's pretty
wants
boring to watch,
Sophie. That's when
to
we
be
got the
honest.
flashback to Randall and them. Randall, Beth, Kevin, Sophie, when they were like 18, 19, sitting at dinner with mom at the house. Kate wasn't there, but the boys were with their significant others, but it was Sophie Kevin was still with at the time. So they don't have any reason to be showing us Sophie unless, and then let me just mention real quick.
Yeah.
When Kate goes to talk to Mark and she wants to watch the movie Airplane that's on, and he doesn't care to watch it, he's just perturbed and, doing his thing. But she has a flashback to her parents watching it. And we have the young Kate, the youngest one that we've seen so far. And did you guys see how much that little girl's grown up?
Yeah.
She looks beautiful. I mean, she's like so much bigger, but it's just like, wow. But yeah, I noticed
she don't look like Kate.
She does look a little bit like
that teen Kate, that's now that she's a little older too. All the teens, she's an amazing actress. Oh, she's really good.
She's really good.
She is amazing.
Then we get to Randall's story a little bit, and we see Randall go into his office. And as you guys remember, where we left it last time was with Randall's viral video of him undressing and dancing. And catching it on camera. So all of his employees are messing with him, and they have muscle shirts on, like bald, no, or not bald, but like just skin. But it's muscle shirts and stuff. They all have blue boxers on, so they look like him. And they're just, giving him a hard time. But then he gets a letter. He's given a letter, and we see that it bothers him or it upsets him, but we don't know what it is. And then we find out a little bit later in the episode that it's from a guy named Hi in New Orleans. And then Randall also receives a picture of his mom and finds out that his mom actually died in 2015 when he thinks his mother died right after he was born.
Yeah.
So that kind of throws him aback. So he's just in awe. And Randall, his big thing is because he's saying, if my mother was alive till 2015, that means my father, William, lied to me. Because William told him the story about his mother dying, of an overdose shortly after he was born. Well, as we know from seeing the episode, William really did think that she died. He didn't know that she lived or that the EMTs revived her. And so, yeah, I guess she ended up in New Orleans, and we find out a little bit. He hints at it. We'll find out more in the next episode. So I'm only going to mention this because this was in the preview. But we find out that Randall's mom, isn't her name Lorelai? Wasn't that what it is?
It's Laurel.
Laurel. I remember it was really pretty sounding.
It's Laurel.
Okay. Well, we find out that she's from a very rich, prestigious family in the South. So we're going to get a lot more backstory on Randall's mom coming in the next episode or two, which will be interesting and nice to see. But then, like I mentioned, when he's on the phone with Kevin and he says, I got to let you go real quick, it's because Beth comes in and basically tells him, call this guy, or we're going to call this guy, or this guy called, whatever it is. Basically, he gets on the phone and he calls the Asian man, Hi, that we had seen in a previous episode with the picture of him and Randall's mom. And he tells him, I was with her till she died of cancer. It was breast cancer. And he said he stayed by her side. He was her friend and her companion, and he made sure she was comfortable and happy. And he told Randall, he said, I want to say it just like he said it too, because it was so beautiful. And he eases Randall's mind by telling him that William didn't lie to him. That William, from what he understands, is that William did think that she died. And right there, you see the peace come over Randall. He starts crying, and I would have too. I get it. But then he told him, what did he say?
Well, he did say that it's really hard to talk about her over the phone. He didn't think it would be that difficult, but it was.
Oh, okay, here it is. And then, so he tells him, he said, I wish I could show you all the places that she lived and the things that she loved. And Randall, looks at Beth. Beth looks at him. She's like, yeah, we're doing this. And so, of course, he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, yeah. So Randall's going to make a trip to New Orleans. So we're going to get a whole nother storyline here soon with Randall, which will be great because we're going to get more backstory with his mom, because Randall's the one we don't have most backstory on from before he was born, his family history and stuff, because he was adopted, obviously, and all the complications with thinking people are dead and they're not and everything else.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that wraps it up right there at the end.
Well,
and the preview,
Well,
yeah, I will. But the preview for this week shows him going to New Orleans to see these places, and then we're going to learn more about the mom. So, yeah, go ahead.
So, this is the first time I talk publicly about any of this, and this storyline is hit home. This is my life, and I understood exactly what Randall's fears were, what his anxieties were, how he shut down right there at the beginning. Right. That scene where he says, "I've dealt with this for 30 years. I'm done dealing with this," and God, that was the most honest thing.
That's what he said. I want to go for a ride. Right?
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I'm done. This is so honest. I mean,
and he
I was never a big,
for that
huge fan.
Too.
Yeah, I was never a big, huge fan of Randall's storylines, but this is just like this storyline's now gotten too close to home where I'm probably not going to watch next week. I don't think I can. But see, I lived a similar situation where my birth mother was taken from me, lost, whatever, for my entire life that I never had answers to. And we found out just this year, 2020, or the wonderful year 2020, in February, that she had died in the 90s of traumatic brain cancer. And so to know that she was out there that whole time, just like Randall's finding out that she was out there, that's for a little boy to go through what I went through at the time, and to know that I will never have the answers. And when says to Randall, he says, let me show you the places that she loved and the places that she
was
cared
so
about.
Beautiful when he said that. It was like it touched my heart. I almost cried. Yeah.
Those are the things that I want in my life. Those are the questions I had every single day, waking up, and that I know I'll never have. And it's like, tell me your story. That's all.
Well, that's not true. Don't say never. Never say never, because you never know.
No, it is. No, I do.
There might be someone just like this, like the storyline. Someone who knows her or knows of the places.
There's not. And my story's done. And I'm coming to terms with a lot of my healing, a lot of stuff that's going on. Me and my sister, we're going through this together. But it's hard to have such a huge portion of your life just empty. And that's why I think Randall's feeling. And that's why I really, really can relate to the Randall character. But the fact that we're going into the mother's character and seeing there may be lies, there may be manipulation on her part, there may be something she has this beautiful life. Who knows? I don't want to see it, I don't think.
It's just too much.
I don't know if I'm ready for that emotionally.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
Yeah, me and Kaylee sit down after the show. We sat and talked about an hour about the situation, and it's like I've never watched anything in my life that was so close to home. I mean, to see these actors' faces, to see their emotions, to see what they're thinking, it's like, wow, the showrunners really got it right.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not easy.
Well, that's why we love this show. They're doing it right. They have been for 5 seasons now.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Knock on wood, right?
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't be here next week. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
But again, I may opt out for a while for the show.
Well, thank you for sharing with us, though. I very much appreciate that, because I know it's not easy and it's a vulnerable place to be right now. So thank you for that. We really do appreciate that. Well, with that wraps up the episode. Season 5, Episode 5, A Long Road Home of This Is Us. So we will be back next week, Wednesday, for a new stream for This Is Us Season 5, Episode 6 for you guys. We will see you Wednesday. We love you. We love you for being here. Be kind to yourself and be kind to someone else. Bye.
Take care, guys.